YouTube, so I literally just got out the shower. Welcome to another video. It is literally vlog season, babe. Like, y'all know that it's been real toxic, but me, I try to stay in faith, and you know, I had to wait literally on the Lord to deliver me because, girl, I had to trust in the Holy Spirit. I mean, because anytime that I could blame myself for the toxicity, I would. And so let's just go ahead and have a sit down.
Talk back, kill 'em and I really make 'em mad. Stop that, acting like you really finna spag. You not that, let 'em know I'm really in my bag. I pop that, boy, I'm locked in. I ain't never had a job, but I'm clocked in. And they knowing that I'm hard, now they watching. And they see that I'm a star, now I'm top 10. I ain't even gotta pop no more. So fly, I don't even gotta walk no more. But don't ask me about me.
So basically, excuse the water, y'all. My son is taking a bath. But basically, y'all know, or I don't know if you know, if you've been watching and whatever, if you caught up, I am from Virginia, okay? Now, clearly y'all probably seen the progress over time where I left my apartment, we ended up being in the car, and I have been waiting on giving y'all this life update, okay? So, basically, I'm about to just bring y'all on an evening here at our new home. This is like a temporary place, but child, how beautiful it is. Like, I'm gonna show y'all, don't worry, I'm gonna give y'all a full tour. But literally, this man, you know, was in Virginia, and there was like real southern, I guess. I wouldn't say real southern, like, but I guess where we was, like around JMU area, it was just very much like it was very much still giving racist. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and be blunt about it. It was still giving kind of like racist, but also even sexist, I would say. And so basically, you know, I was trying to get help there for like to go to a shelter, yada yada. And it was just like every time, it was just always something. And they were not supportive. Like, I was at the Mercy House last summer. Y'all seen I was, you know, I made that what I eat in a week as a mom vlog. And so y'all seen, you know, I was at the shelter and everything. But they were so disrespectful when I told them about my faith. Like, I guess it's real conservative there, okay? So basically, I'm telling them, like, I guess what they would say is unorthodox. So as I'm kind of telling the people there, like at shelters, at domestic violence shelters, at the Mercy House, you know, as I'm telling them kind of my faith and, you know, how this man is literally like basically sexualizing me, like putting me down to like, oh child, you were nothing more than your sexuality. And if you can go on my community tab, you will see that I actually post a video on there that's explaining pretty much how Christian women can still be beautiful, and that does not make you like wrong, okay? Now I know that there are faiths, and you know, I'm not trying to be like, you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I know that there are faiths that believe that you need to cover your beauty from head to toe, and I believe that's very oppressive to women, okay? Like, they believe you need to cover your beauty to head to toe because a rapist is your problem, okay? Now I feel the same way about, like, you know, the whole abortion thing. I don't think that women should be having out here to you know, putting their bodies through that, because there's men that cannot control themselves. So, you know, I understand, but it's like, we need to take care of the rapist problem, okay, clearly. And so it's kind of like the same situation with that. I ended up being back with him because it was like, okay, well, if I'm going to feel uncomfortable, at least I'm gonna feel uncomfortable where I know actually like what's going on in my surroundings. and I'm not just with some strangers. You understand like what I'm saying? So that's basically what I ended up, that's what it kind of, you know, came to. And honestly, you know, as even like when I was trying to go to the shelters, it was just not working. Like the domestic violence shelter in Harrisonburg, it was just filled up. They ended up putting me in like the one that was literally right where he'd be like all the time. And I was like, what is this gonna do? So I even gave it a try, but as soon as I pulled up, like his friend was literally passing, like seeing where I was and everything. And I know that man got a big mouth, so hold on, baby, that's dirty. Wait, we're gonna go outside in a second, okay? So basically, after that, then I tried to see, you know, I tried again in the Harrisonburg one. It was still filled up. And then I tried with the Mercy House again, and they told me that they was full, but I'm pretty sure they was lying. I wouldn't put it past them because they told me that Salvation Army will probably be filled up too. And so basically he was telling me, he's like, I'm going to Maine, I'm going up north, and yeah, like I don't care if you don't have somewhere to go, you're just gonna have to come with me. And so it was giving very much kidnapped. But I was like, you know, regardless, I'm like, I trust in the Lord. Obviously if I'm not gonna help here, it's whatever. Yeah, we're gonna go outside. So, long story short, I ended up coming up here. He ends up kind of like forcing me, and the whole crazy part about it, he was bringing, so we get up here, and basically he gets us in another situation where our car gets towed, all yada yada, because he was acting all sus. And I'm just like, okay, well, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna pull through. You know, God is working, and you know, maybe you are being targeted, right? Maybe like he was acting like, oh, it was their fault, they had their prejudgments about me. It's like, but okay, but like you was kind of putting yourself in that, because you was acting like you were nervous and stuff. But you know me, silly old me, I'm like, well, I'm in a situation, so God, let me see this through. And you know, I'm like, okay, well, maybe, you know, God is speaking to these authorities right now. But I think more than anything, they were saying, like, I think more than anything, God was speaking to them, like, why are you putting the whole family through this though? Like, you know, and maybe even, you know, God was reaching their hearts about things that they were doing, because they may have been a little extra hard. They may have been doing something a little crooked even, like, but, you know, he was kind of making that animosity there, like, giving them that want to be crooked to him. So, long story short, I stick with him to that. And I'm just like, remain calm, babe. And I'm like, maybe that's what I'm here to do. Maybe I'm here to, you know, help him. And I was. But the thing was, it's like, because I was, you know, that's the character that God was, you know, it was God really working me through my flaws and my, you know, patience and stuff. And really showing me, like, you know, because you stay down, like, this is what I'm going to bless you with, you know. Because you have been so faithful, so passionate for me, like, now you know how real God's love is, you know. And the crazy part about it is, like, the fact that I was even able to get free from that is, like, it shows me that, you know, God is so merciful. And even when I was out here, you know, hardening my heart and being rebellious and, you know, just so full of fear, inferiority, like God's grace literally showed me, like, you don't even have to feel that way, you know. You was doing that to yourself, girl. Like, but even though you was so afraid of you know, even though you were so traumatized, even though you thought that it was impossible, it's like God just showed me like you are worthy, right? You know, God does come to rescue his people. They will not be in poverty forever. They will not suffer forever. They will not be oppressed forever. Amen. And so the thing about that is, because he was not a godly man, but yet, like, that man, like, I was his weakness. Like, you kind of, like, I'm kind of stupid, like, I kind of deserve it. But like my son going through is like, no, dude, you really out of your mind. Like, you really are abusive. And it was just like, you know, he would impose his chaotic behavior on my son, and then he was like still blaming my son, and just like he was doing with me, right? Blaming me for everything that was going wrong in his life for all 5 of those years. Dude, you're literally a grown man. Literally, like, I told you that I think that I needed to work on myself more. Like, I was not in a relationship, and you did not care. Like, and so God, I'm sorry, my son is gonna start being a little bit whiny, but basically, you know, he ended up bringing me up here. After that whole situation, he got us in with, you know, that drama with the police and everything, because he always gotta be prideful and stuck in his feelings. You know what, me, I'm like, oh, I kind of feel the pain though, like. And no matter if it was wrong, like how strict it was on my people, my Native American people, like, no matter how strict they may have been, no matter how much, you know, cancer came about, it's like God. But if you have faith, child, you will get through it, and you will understand that you're more blessed than the person that's doing that to you, because obviously they're bitter, obviously they're miserable. And so, and see how God is using you in that situation. And so basically that's my conclusion at the end. But after that whole situation, we end up driving back, because we're like, we're not going to keep going more up north, because everyone's telling us the more up north you're going, it's going to get racist. And also we didn't really have like gas and stuff, and we already found a pretty decent town. And so we're just like, we end up stopping in, well, we were going to go to Maine, kind of closer, I guess, but we end up staying in Vermont. And so instead of going all the way up, like, we're just like, okay, so we're gonna turn around, we're gonna go to that town that seemed pretty decent, and we're gonna stay there, because at this point we were so tired. We was like, we don't want to take no more risks. And it's so funny, y'all, because the lady here, she told me, she said, no smoking inside. She said, but weed is legal in Vermont, so you can smoke all the weed you want outside. I was like, okay, sis, like, thank you, like spark up. But for real, y'all, like, it's giving vlog season. Like, I'm freaking excited. I'm so freaking excited, because I actually have the energy for y'all, and yada yada. So basically, I don't know, I might even do a little film over this, because I know it's a lot of talking. All right, baby, come here. We're gonna go outside. Come here, let's go. My chunky popicori. You say hi to everybody. You say hi, YouTube. You say hi, YouTube. Titi's watching. You say hi, Titi. Titi watches mommy vlogs. Yeah, she do. Yes, she do. Okay, you can get Spider-Man phone. So basically, you guys, we end up coming back to the spot, and he's like, okay, we're gonna sleep in the car. And mind you, we know that there is we know that they offer help in this town, because in the other like ratchet town that we got stuck in with the crooked cops, like, they was telling us like, yeah, you can get help over there, whatever. The same assistance that they help with housing over there, they're gonna help you guys too in that other town. And so he basically gets on the phone, you know, with this little attitude people, I guess, and they're like, no, we don't know, we can't give you no help. No, we don't have any help there. So anyways, he's all, you know, he's all being a jerk, but eventually I got myself a little TV dinner, like the night that we get back here. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go heat it up here or whatever. He was being so rude, like, so we had to go get something from the grocery store because he sped off from the convenience store. Could have did all in one place, but he sped off from there because he was in there flirting with some girl. I don't know if he was trying to be cute or what, but he did not want, like, yeah, it was just weird. But anyways, he ended up we ended up going to this grocery store and then had to go to this other convenience store because that one's supposedly closed. So we came to this 24-hour one and whatever, and I was heating my stuff up there. So I was just letting the lady know, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm heating this stuff up here. Like, we're literally sleeping in the car. I have to heat this up here because the other store closed and yada yada blah blah blah. And they didn't accept EBT there, so I had to go get something else and then use their microwave. And so I just didn't want to be rude, and I know it's a really nice town and all, and I'm just like, trying to be polite. And so they're like, she's like, oh, okay. Well, then this guy walks in and he's like, and see, I'm already kind of like, I know that he be spazzing out about me talking to dudes and stuff, and so I'm like, okay, well, the dude's trying to talk to me, but I'm like kind of nervous. I'm like, okay, and he's like, so eventually I bring up, I'm like, yeah, we're sleeping in the car, but I'm just tired of it. Hey, that stuff's dirty, Gilly. Okay, we're gonna get a blanket. Come here. Here you go. So basically, I'm like, I'm telling the woman at first, but then the dude basically gets into the conversation, and he is like, he was very much gentleman, everything, this and that. But the thing is like, I'm seeing my family was vibe. I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful, yada yada. Even though, I know I'm not doing nothing, I'm like, okay, well, we're getting a place to stay. This is like, necessary. And so I'm telling the lady, and I'm like, yeah, he says, we can sleep in the car, but I'm just like irritated. I'm like, do you guys know anywhere that would help with the assistance? Because, they're telling us on the phone, or they told him that, there's no help. And they're like, oh yeah, and they list, these two places. So the place that we was at previously, and then this place. And so I'm like, first of all, we passed this place, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And so then we later find out that this was one of the places. But anyways, they speak on the phone, and they're like, yeah, so basically, or he's letting us know, yeah, I know this other, I know the people there, and at first they're like telling us a public parking lot that we can go to because we was gonna drive like 30 minutes to this Walmart parking lot. They're like, no, there's one right here you can sleep at. And so basically, I said that too much, y'all. Cut it. So eventually, oh, and the TV turns. Cool. So eventually, the last until the TV. Anyways, whenever I mention my son, and I'm just like, yeah, this has just been a long 5 years, like, and I'm just genuinely exhausted, y'all. Like, as y'all can see, my vlogs, and by me, like, my body, like, it was so nice in the Mercy House, and then I lose weight again, and now, but it's like the toning is like, coming through each and every time more and more. So it's like, okay, God, like, I see what you're doing, like, mommy searching who? Like, what? So anyways, I'm like, wow, really? So he's like, oh no, y'all got a baby? He's like, oh no. So I'm like, okay, mister. So he's like, okay, I know the people at this one, so I'm gonna call and I'm gonna get y'all in because I'm gonna give y'all the money for tonight. This man pulls out, I guess, like $200. And I was like, wow. I think he ended up only giving like $150 or something. I don't know, but anyways, it was like I was just speechless, and I was literally speechless. They were like, okay, so in the morning you're just gonna get on the phone, and then you're gonna get the assistance, but right now I'm just gonna give this to you. And so, anyways, and then dude comes out, and I was so afraid that he was gonna say something, but he was literally so gentleman, so genuine. And so he's telling dude like, no, he comes up to our car, And so when I get in the car, he asked me, he's like, who gave you money? And so I'm like, the lady, because, you know, I didn't want to do it, because I literally know, like, you know, this is how prideful he is, you guys. Like, you know, he literally sees, like, the whole, I don't know, it's just, like, it's just scary. Like, it's just scary that he even put me in that position to feel that way. That he could just be that prideful. And someone that's obviously genuinely trying to help. And so anyways, he's like, who gave you the money? Da-da-da, this and that, the third. And you know, I went to the car, I told them how genuine they were, how nice, and how you know, like, welcoming. And he's just like, oh, who gave you money? You know, that's his first thing that he asked. I'm just like, the woman. Like, you know, I was telling the woman that's really what I was doing in the first place. So then when the guy comes to the car, I get kind of scared, but you know, it was very gentleman. He was like, hey dude, and come by and I'm gonna fix your headlight. So he goes, gets his headlight and everything fixed. And he even thought his backlight was out, but it apparently wasn't. It was just a little burnt or something. The headlight, I think he says that he thinks the police put it out. They was trying to get him pulled back over again. So anyways, not that he got pulled over in the first place. The first place we ran out of gas. So anywho, we ended up going to a hotel, and those people there are very polite as well. You know, very good people, because obviously they're connected to this dude, and you know, very gentleman type people. You know, very, very extremely polite and helpful. And 100%, just like genuine. And so it's crazy because, like, the people that ran the hotels actually the same as someone that God was revealing to me was my kingdom spouse. And you know, we had so much connection, and but I was just trying to stick to, like, I didn't want to go against God's will. And so it's crazy because, but I think we both had things that we was working through. But it's crazy because I was like, wow, like, I feel safe, because we get there and he's like all being so rude, and you know, I don't have an ID, so he's thinking like, oh, I have an ID, so I run this shit, and I'm the one that put my thing on this room and all this and that. Come to find out, they don't even, like, they don't play about that. Like, they don't care. Like, child, we will help you get everything that you need. Like, so, and at the end of the day, and they help me with, like, paperwork. They're gonna help me with all that up here, because in Harrisonburg, when I was trying to do that, I was like pulling an arm and leg. Like, it was not, like, they was not trying to help at all. It was so difficult for me to get help with paperwork. I'm literally traumatized because I went to my mom's house and she's like totally against me doing my homework and all this stuff, and my dad was really for that. So it just really traumatized me to the point where I get major anxiety doing paperwork now. And I'm like really bad with like math and stuff, and you know, hence why I was like, oh, I kind of felt like I needed a man. But like I said, in this season, God is allowing women's gifts to prosper as well. And so, child, that emotional intelligence. But so anyways, we get there and he's like, oh, you know, now we're closer to his family because we're in New England. And so even if we're in, like, you know, the northern part, his family's in the southern part. But he's like done with his family now. And I'm just like, dude, we was in Virginia. He was always telling me to go stay with my family. So now we're in your space. Why don't you go stay with your family? He did this whole scene, you know, making me leave the room and stuff. Anyways, he's getting rude to the hotel people. Like, you know, they can see that, you know, like, this man is crazy. So anyways, I ended up leaving it today. He ended up leaving too. Like, long story short, we didn't even have to leave, but because of how prideful he is, like, we ended up leaving. And look, God still blessed us because now we're actually in a better position, like, overall. Like, I'm talking, like, we're not, you know, we have access to a lot more things, and obviously it's, like, nicer. And I didn't show y'all the other place, but, you know, if you have my Snapchat, you would see me. But, you know, this time the third. So, long story short, I ended up kind of getting, like, you know, one of dude's people. I ended up getting one of his girl's numbers. So, you know, long life friends, like, you know, good people, y'all. And, you know, I couldn't believe that he was just being so rude to them, but, you know, really showed true colors. Like, you know, dude, I bring you all the way to, like, I literally get us all the way to the promised land. Like, you know, even though you doubted my faith so much, even though you doubted the Holy Spirit so much, like, you know, I really get us all the way here, and you still taking your pride. Like, you still talking about, like, you paying for this, and the third, like, we're not a family and all this BS. So, I don't know, y'all. It is Kingdom Marriage season. It is, it gives women rights up here. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just so blessed. I'm just so grateful. I'm just beyond thankful. So, yeah, I think I will do this as a voiceover and just showing y'all around the place and stuff, or maybe I'll just put together like just a lot of clips or something for this video, or I don't know how it's gonna work, babe, but I'm just honestly beyond grateful. You know, in the beginning, like, I got with that man, and I knew that he was like only used for, I knew that he was like kind of like using me, but just because of the lie that he fed me, and I knew the energy wasn't right though, but like just because of the lies he was feeding me, and just because he gave me just enough, like, it was like I kept going on, and that just shows how foolish like humans can be. Well, like, I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's just like God is so good. Like, even in the situation where I was like out of control, and where I was just, you know, I had just literally just fallen into like the pit of my enemy. Like, I was in the den with the lion, like, but God literally didn't even allow the lion's mouth to open, you know. Like, just God is just so good, y'all. Like, you know, everyone thought I was so crazy for putting up with that and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, this showed me true authority in Christ. Like, babe, like, I guess I may have like some more to say after we go outside and whatnot. And like I said, I'm probably gonna do a little life update and just put a bunch of clips together with this as the voiceover. But yeah, I love you guys so freaking much, and I just thank each and every one of you for supporting my channel and not judging me, because girl, my life was crazy. Like, I know that everyone got their issues, but it's just like I really be feeling like the craziest of all times. And so I just love y'all so much, and thank you for, you know, just sewing into this channel, like, just simply watching, like, just simply supporting. Like, that's sewing into it for me. Like, you guys are just, you know, you guys are my family. Like, you guys are literally my life. So thank you to all my subscribers. You know, if you're watching and not subscribing, babe, what is you doing? Like, and even I'm just excited for others to get on here and start sharing their testimonies as well. I've been finding so many kingdom vloggers, and it's just a blessing, y'all. So yeah, I love you guys so much, but we're about to go outside. We're about to enjoy it. So y'all will probably see some clips from that, and when I come back, if I have anything else to say, I will definitely say it. But yeah.